Oklahoma preacher threatened with jail after LGBTQ+ rights group gets restraining order. An outspoken street preacher is appealing to the Oklahoma Supreme Court after he was slapped with a 5-year restraining order that his attorneys say threatens him with jail time if he violates the order by speaking out against a local LGBTQ advocacy group. Rich Penkoski, a pastor who leads up the online organization Warriors for Christ and has protested drag shows for children nationwide, told Fox News Digital that he believes the restraining order is unconstitutional and could herald a legal precedent that could chill the speech of Christians and others. Penkoski said he was invited by a church in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, to preach outside a local pride event last fall after other local churches failed to speak out against it. Penkoski also posted a public photo of the same-sex wedding of Sheena Hayes and Morgan Lawrence Hayes, who is the executive board president of the Bartlesville chapter of Oklahomans for Equality. In his post, Penkoski referenced Bible verses condemning homosexuality, including Romans 1:32 and Matthew 18:6. In a police report filed by an officer with ties to Oklahomans for Equality in Bartlesville, the couple felt directly threatened and harassed by Penkoski's social media posts and sought a restraining order. I think this goes into a lot of the, how do we fight back, right? We have to use those same tools against everybody who's using them against us. I mean, it makes me think of when the Black Panthers started arming themselves. What happened? Gun control for certain groups became tightened. And I mean, there's other examples as well with people trying to use the tools and to mixed results, but we have to get creative.
I want to go to the heart of the objection that he makes, which is it's a constitutional violation of his free speech. If he's on a sidewalk at a gay wedding, the Westboro model. And they chant and they have signs and horrible words are said. Why isn't that free speech? And if he posts against me in social media and says horrible things, why isn't that free speech? Why do you think it is?
Because it incites violence.
Isn't there a difference between hate speech and free speech also? I mean, there's a difference there.
And that
well, clearly this judge made that decision.
Like the whole idea of like a, burning building, like the kind of movie theater.
Yeah, can't yell fire.
Right, can't yell fire.
Do we agree with that? Do we agree with the idea that hate speech, for example, there's a line here because the Jewish community is very active in talking about the protesters that are protesting at synagogues that are having signs that say Hitler was right. And is that hate speech? And is that hate speech that incites violence? And therefore that can be curtailed as free speech?
Yes.
The one thing I do know is this. I don't care where I'm at. If I want to go somewhere and I want to say something, I feel I have the right that I should be able to say it. Yeah. If I disagree with something, I feel I should be able to protest against that and say what I want to say.
And the reason I ask you these questions is that exact point. Obviously, the vast majority of the LGBTQ community is happy with this judge's decision. But at the end of the day, today our satisfaction could be tomorrow our cry.
I think you're right, and there's something I never said. It felt like vinegar in my mouth. Is that an expression? I don't know. But what I do think that there's something really dangerous about we're seeing it. We've been seeing it for a couple of years, and certainly many years in the making, but the expansion of Christian protectionism in the U.S. Supreme Court. That has only since gotten more clear, right, in the last year or two. That is what was initially meant to be kind of protectionist of minority religions, of minoritarian positionalities, has actually become now a position to protect Christian freedom, whatever that is or isn't.
Christian.
100%. A very particular sect and a very particular movement, and that is, as we're seeing the expansion of these protections, it's whatever, regardless of whether that's hate speech or not hate speech, what the courts are going to decide is going to be what's at stake here.
Yeah.
And just to Al, really quick, to your point about the protesters outside of synagogues, is that inciting violence? Yeah, because we've already seen, specifically to the Jewish community, what has happened in the past, what that kind of speech can lead to. So I think it's clear.
And the atheist at the table has just one question.
I'm the atheist too.
A couple. So, how is it that the Prince of Peace would need warriors for Christ and Christian soldiers? Just asking.
I know, didn't we think?
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.